Here we have not tried to glorify or agree with all the points mentioned in the document. The following video series is a factual translation of Chanakya Niti. Many of his Niti are still relevant to our time, but many of his Niti does not imply as righteous from moral ground and living perspective, but it will definitely help you all to understand the people mindset and how the powerful man had implied such discriminating teaching as life lesson.
Chanakya Niti, Chapter 10. One destitute of wealth is not destitute. He is indeed rich if he is learned. But the man devoid of learning is destitute in every way. We should carefully examine or inspect closely and thoroughly that place upon which we step, having it ascertained to be free from fleet and living creatures like insects, etc. We should drink water which has been filtered. We should speak only those words which have the sanction of the sutras, and do that act which we have carefully considered. He who desires sense gratification must give up all thoughts of acquiring knowledge, and he who seeks knowledge must not hope for sense gratification. How can he who seeks sense gratification acquire knowledge, and how can he who possesses knowledge enjoy mundane sense pleasure? What is it that escapes the observation of poets? What is that act women are incapable of doing? When will drunken people not talk foolishly? What will not a crow eat? Faith makes a beggar a king and a king a beggar. Faith makes a rich man poor and a poor man rich. The beggar is an enemy of a person who hoards wealth and spends as little money as possible. The wise counselor is the fool's enemy. Her husband is an adulterous wife's enemy, and the moon is the enemy of the thief. Those who are destitute of learning, penance, knowledge, good disposition, virtue, and benevolence are animals wandering the earth in the form of man. They are burdensome to the earth. Those that are empty-minded cannot be benefited by instruction. Bamboo does not acquire the quality of sandalwood by being associated with the Malaya mountain. What good can the scriptures do to a man who has no sense of his own? Of what use is as mirror to a blind man? Nothing can reform a bad man, just as a person's buttocks cannot become a superior part of the body, though was 100 times. By offending a family member, life is lost. By offending others, wealth is lost. By offending the king, everything is lost. And by offending a Brahman, one whole family is ruined. It is better to live under a tree in a jungle inhabited by tigers and elephants than to live amongst relations that will live during poverty and hard time. The Brahman is like a tree. His prayers are the roots, his chanting of the Vedas are the branches, and his religious acts are the leaves. So, efforts should be made to preserve his roots, for if the roots are destroyed, there can be no branches or leaves. My mother is Lakshmi. My father is Lord Vishnu. My family members are the Vishnu worshippers, and my homeland is all the three worlds. Throughout night, many kinds of birds sit and rest on a tree, but in the morning, they all fly in different directions. Why should a tree express sorrow for that? Similarly, we should not grieve when we must part company from our dear ones. He who possesses intelligence is strong. How can the man that is unintelligent be powerful? Without the grace of Lord Vishnu, how could milk flow from a mother's breast for a child's nourishment?